Well, welcome back to the channel. Yeah, I've been on a little hiatus. My last video was in January when I had to tow this Tahoe back from Sacramento area after transfer case failure. Transfer case is all taken care of. I had a spare up here in my storage area. It's got a lot of miles on it, but it wasn't broke, so took the broke one out, put the old one in. That's all going now. So I haven't done a video in a while also because I decided to kind of step up with my channel. And if you look back here, you'll see these new room. I actually enclosed the area underneath the loft there. And that is actually part of stepping up what I'm doing on this channel and this next project coming out. And we will cover all that in a future video. I got pretty cool stuff. But on that, today's video, I'm going to do something. I was doing some research and I found one YouTube video out in the southern states on using a Hummer H2 rear springs for your Suburban or your Tahoe, Yukon, whatever. And they do direct swap. There's nobody says no, they won't go in. They're all coiled up just right for them. They have the right design to just take your old coils out and put these in. But the key there is I didn't get a spring rate on them. And to do a spring rate, you need to be able to put some weight on them and get a measurement and see how far they move, because they rates are usually by pounds per inch. So if it's 100 pounds per inch, then every inch it jumps down, that's 100 pounds. You go down 200 pounds, it's going to drop 2 inches. 300 pounds, it drops 3 inches. And I wanted to know the difference between the H2 Hummer spring rate and my factory Tahoe spring rates. Except I don't have a factory Tahoe coil spring. I have an aftermarket Tahoe lift spring. My Tahoe, when I bought it, already had a 4-inch lift on it. And you can tell it's 4 inches because all the drop brackets were about 4 inches, okay? And the front, because the old IFS on there, it had a drop spindle, all that stuff. So I went out and I bought some springs, and let me show you what I got here. So this is a H2 Hummer spring, bought it on eBay. And then I went out and I bought spacers. I bought 2 sets. This is a 3-inch and this is a 2-inch because I have a lift on my coils. I just don't know how much I'm going to need. And my resources tell me that these springs, when you put them in place, are about 1.5 inches higher than the factory. So I'm suspecting that this is going to be about 2.5 inches too low. So I got a 3-inch spacers. The spacers are really affordable, and then I got 2-inch spacers. But once I get it in, I'll know how much spacer I got to put in there. And if the 3-inch spacer is like a 1/2 inch high, that's okay, because I run with when I run the trail, I run with about 400 pounds. So that's that's probably going to drop the rear end another inch or so, or probably 1.5 inches lower, depending on what the spring rate is or what the spring rate differences are. So I sat there and I said, what do I got to calculate a spring rate? And it turns out years ago I needed to do some weights, and I went the cheapest route I found. I found really inexpensive pallet scales. This is stuff that truck docks use and stuff. And I think my scale's rated up to 4,000 pounds. You can take a forklift with a big pallet, a couple 1,000 pounds of stuff, put it on there, and get a weight on it. But I converted my pallet scale to be a little more useful for my needs. Let me show that to you. So there it is. It's just a little 16 by 16 or 18 by 18. And you can see the feet on there, and the sensors are underneath this frame. And I have the H2, the other H2 Hummer these are rear coils, loaded up. I used the 3-inch block in the bottom and a piece of wood here, a piece of wood there, because I needed the space because the tires aren't supposed to be touching the ground, which they aren't. Then right over here, you can see the scale. And oh yeah, it's because of the hertz. It says it basically 750 pounds is what I have on the coil. So what I do is I just measured the height of the coil with the 750 pounds. And this is kind of a neat way because you can jack up the rear end and put whatever weight you want on it, because with the jack you can adjust it and it'll just pick up those weights. So I put the weight on it, and then I went over here and I took same measurement with this thing at rest, which comes in at 21. And let me show you how to calculate this. So here I got H2 springs at 0 pounds. It is 21 inches. And that's with the 3-inch spacer. The spacer makes no difference on this coil rate. And then I said at 750 pounds, it was 18 inches with that spacer. And then you take the difference. So the difference between 18 and 21 is 3. So to calculate pounds per inch, that's pounds per 1 inch. You take the 750 pounds that you measured, take that 3-inch difference, right, whatever we got from up here, and just do a division, and voila. Came out dead nuts, 250 pounds per inch. So now we know, everybody that watches my channel will know that a H2, not H3. H3 is a little Chevy Colorado chassis with a little truck with a little Hummer body on it. This is the big full size H2, which is the same size as the Tahoe spring. So we all know the spring rate is 250 pounds per inch. So what I need to do is go on over here, and we will. Hold on a minute. There we go. So what we're going to do is go ahead and take this spring out and pull out my springs. Do the same thing and see where we're at with my factory springs, and then we'll know what is a Tahoe spring. Is it 200 pounds per inch, 175 pounds per inch? Or is it 250 pounds per inch? Nobody knows. So I'm going to unravel that mystery for all of us. So when you're messing around with your Tahoe and you got some ride height issues or whatever you want to resolve, you're going to be able to make a pretty good educated decision on what kind of spring rate you're looking for. So let me get down over here and take my springs out and do that work. That's just take the shock off, take the limit strap off, and then jack up one side, the spring falls out. It's no magic there. So I'll be right back. Hey, want to see something stupid? Yeah, I'll show you something really. Don't do this. That's all I got to say. And I'm not going to do it either. There. Yeah. So the 2x6 is holding the weight, and then I control the height with that. And the springs are loose, okay? But if this sucker slips off, this rear end with no springs to catch it, it's over 1,000 pounds. You get under there, you're not going to survive it. If you got a limb under there, it's not going to survive it. Not if it slips off. More like when it slips off. So, yeah, don't do this. But now I know how tall this board is. That's great. So now I know I got to come up. The board's 35 inches. I probably got to come up at least 36 inches. And I have a plan that is much, much safer than this. Boy, it's going to take some work to get it together. So let me show you what I plan on doing. And no, it's not like a forklift. That's not safe either. Why isn't a forklift safe? It's once again, it's hydraulic. And my forks that I have on my tractor, when you turn the tractor off, it just falls. And so yeah, hydraulics can fail. So what you want is something that does a lockout. My suggestion if you're going to do this, do it on a lift if you have got a 2-post lift or scissor lift or something like that. Or if you do fabrication, get some metal. Know that you got to build some sort of stable stand out of metal. Just use whatever scraps you got that are pretty hefty. Weld some stand together. Do the jack thing like I did with a piece of 4x4 to get it up there, and then shove that sucker under there. And that way, you know, the thing's supported under the frame, nice and steady. You're not going to die. So yeah, let's not die. So I got to come up with a solution. I have a couple ideas. I'll be right back with that. Okay, said I was going to do something safer. Absolutely. Let me show you what I did. So I got to step over some wires and stuff here. But here it is. Yeah, scissor lift. The scissor lift the whole truck. But you got to put the arms on, get them under the frame. You got to go around the thing like 4 times until it's all set up, and then you can lift the whole truck. But I just need to lift the back end up. So this worked pretty good. And I thought, huh. So I got the 4-inch lift springs that were in there. I got those out. And I said, well, let's see what the load capacity here. So it's a 2x6 on a block just to kind of get the height there. And I crushed it down. That's the Tahoe lift spring. And this lift was from Rancho Suspensions. I don't even think they offer it anymore. But and the only reason I know is because the drop for the IFS, they had to drop the cross member down, and it had a Rancho sticker on it. But it could have been a sticker from a shock. I don't know. Anyways, I let that down until I hit. It says 549 if you can't read it, but we could just roll it right up to 550. And I measured this, and let me show you this. This is going to save you all some dough here, because you're going to be able to have the information to check it out. But here we go. So we had, once again, H2 Hummer, rest, no load. It was 18 inches. And I put 750 pounds on it, went down 15 inches, 3 inches difference. So 750 by 3 gives you a 250 pounds per inch. The Tahoe at 0 pounds was 19.5 inches. I put 550 on it. It was 17.5 inches measured at 550 pounds. That's a difference of 2 inches, so it dropped 2 inches. So we got 550 divided by 2. 275. What? 250. Huh? 275. Ah ha ha. So switching now to Hummer springs, and in my case, it's going to make my situation worse because that spring load is too small. But I do know, I'm pretty sure if you get factory springs, they're probably a little bit lighter. Maybe it might be 225 versus 250. I don't know. But to save you all some dough, I'm going to do y'all a favor, and so you can see and measure your coils without even taking them out. But you're going to have to get yourself a measuring stick. Here it is. It's in inches. And when I pulled it out, I looked at it and went, oh, yeah, I think there's an issue, because this one, diameter of the coil spring, it's 0.70. Just remember that, 0.7 inches. This guy, oh, look at that. Yeah, look at that. 0.75. So this is actually a slightly larger coil spring, bar, or whatever you want to call that. So now you know you want to see if this Hummer spring will work for your Tahoe, your Suburban. Just take your little measuring tool here, measure the diameter of that coil, and if it's less than 0.70, like 0.65, 0.60, something like that. Then this Hummer spring here, this will give you your 250 pounds per inch, right? Make it a little bit stiffer. But if it's, you know, the same or bigger, then no difference. The cool thing with these that Hummer coil springs, I paid $100 including shipping on eBay. I'm not out a lot of money, and who knows, I may use those springs for something else. I got this other project coming up, and I'm like, leaf springs or coil springs, or, well, I'm not going to do. Sorry, camera issues. I'm not going to do coil overs on it because I'm also doing it under a budget. You know, use things you have, use things that are used. The next project, it's going to be for budget-minded people because it's all expensive, even in the used market. But boy, you go with anything brand new, I mean, the price is 5 times. So, and I don't want to spend that kind of money. I'm sure you don't want to either. So, I think this resolves the whole H2 Hummer springs on a Tahoe. Did for me, since I'm not going to do it. So probably what I'm going to do, the shorter 2-inch pucks. I think they make 1.5s. These are like $35, something like that. Ridiculous. And they're kind of cool, and who knows what I can use them for. Who knows? Definitely for mock-up, because you can stack them too. I wouldn't use them stacked, but for mock-up you can stack them. So there's and then you can say, oh, okay, here's the height I need. Now I need a coil that's, you know, this much taller, bigger, whatever. But that's it for today's video. A little short video, but I just have to say, you know, it resolved a lot. And going forward, I think the mystery's solved because I couldn't find that info. So all you need to know, factory H2 Hummer rear coil spring is 250 pounds per inch. That's the spring rate. Your Tahoe, if the wire's over 170 off your Tahoe or the same, 0.70, it won't do you any good. If it's smaller diameter, then yeah, you might want to consider it. And anyways, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe and hit the like or thumbs up. Really helps the channel. And I enjoy doing these, and I want to keep doing them and giving people really good insight that are working on these Tahoes and Suburbans and taking these off, and because they're great camping vehicles, because man, they hold everything. So anyways, thanks for watching, and I'm out of here. By the way, I know you're curious, so I put the factory springs back in, and if you measure from right here at the fender lip down to the center of the hub, about 28 and I think 1/2 inches both sides. If you look at it, it'll look pretty much kind of the same, but kind of not. And it turns out from this lip here to center of the hub of there is 30 inches. So it's 2 inches higher in the back. And there's a slight slope going that direction. But I think this is going to be perfect. So I ended up using the 2-inch lift block in the rear. And I think it's about perfect, because when I load that rear end up, it's going to fall at least 1 inch. So I'd have 28 to 28.5-ish to 29.5-ish. So, I mean, 1 inch. I mean, it's golden. And having the extra room at the back, yeah, I think that's going to do it. The other thing is, this rear bumper, yeah, that just got about 2 inches higher too. So I think this is, it's all good. So now all I need to do is get an improved shock, because that shock does not control the weight of this vehicle. That shock was, I think, meant for a much lighter vehicle. Because I get in whoops and stuff, this thing, it actually bounces. It's supposed to go boom and stop. It goes boom, 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 and just bounces. So yeah, there's the other side. I think that's a really good look. I like that. This will be, you know, driving around town looking like this, but once I'm on the trail loaded, it's going to look level. And you don't want nose up, because I used to sit and go, oh man, I'm, you know, look like I'm looking up in the sky. So yeah, no more nose up. And I think I got for a GMT 900, go about 2 inches higher in the rear than you did in the front, and I think it's going to work for you when you load it up, go camping. All right. Well, once again, appreciate you watching. I had to go fill that one in. And subscribe, like, hit the thumbs up. Really helps my channel. And you know, I look forward to seeing you all again and doing another video.